The Virgin River Season 7 trailer has dropped and I have so much to tell you about Episode 1 that I don't even know where to start. The trailer opens with a line that I think is going to set the tone for the entire season, and it honestly gave me chills. It goes, "This is the end of one chapter and the beginning of another," and I thought, wow, just wow. Because that line could not be more perfect for where Mel and Jack are right now in their lives. They just got married, guys, after 5 whole seasons of Will They, won't they? After all the heartbreak and the waiting and the almost moments, Jack Sheridan and Melinda Monroe are finally husband and wife. And now a brand new chapter is beginning. So when the show tells us this is the end of one chapter and the start of another, I felt that in my soul, I really did. So for those of you who need a little refresher on where we left off, let me catch you up real quick, because Season 7 is picking up right where Season 6 ended. No time jump. Nothing like that. We're going straight back into the action, and honestly I'm so glad about that, because the Season 6 finale left us with so many questions that I've been thinking about for months. So you remember the wedding, right? Beautiful, emotional, everything we wanted from Mel and Jack. They actually had 2 moments, which I loved. First, they had this intimate private ceremony by the river, just the 2 of them, and then they said their vows again in front of all their family and friends. It was everything. It was absolutely everything. But of course, because this is Virgin River and things can never just be perfect for too long, the finale ended on a seriously dark note. Jack went to check on Charmaine because she was a no-show at the wedding, and when he got to her place, the door was broken, and then he looked into the nursery and his face just dropped. We never got to see what he saw. The camera cut away and left all of us sitting there like, wait, what did he see? And that is exactly where Season 7 is picking up from. So the first episode is going to deal with the Charmaine situation head on, and I think we're going to get some answers pretty quickly. Calvin has been threatening Charmaine all season long, trying to get access to his twin boys. So it doesn't take a genius to figure out that he's probably behind whatever happened to her. But the real question is, how bad is it? Is Charmaine okay? And what exactly did Jack see in that nursery? Those are the questions that Episode 1 is going to have to answer. And I for one am not ready for whatever that answer might be now. While all of that is happening with Jack, let's talk about Mel, because she has her own emotional journey going on in Episode 1. And honestly, her storyline this season might be the one that hits the hardest out of everything. So you guys already know about Marley. She was pregnant throughout Season 6, and she had been talking to Mel about adopting her baby. And I have to say, when I first heard about this, I thought it was the most perfect thing the writers could have done for Mel's character. Like, think about it, Mel has wanted to be a mother for so long. She lost a baby. She went through IVF. She dealt with so much pain around this whole topic, and she never gave up hope. And now here comes Marley, essentially handing her the family she always dreamed of. So of course Mel said yes, of course she was over the moon about it. And Jack, oh my gosh, you guys should have seen Jack's face when he found out. He was so ready to be a dad to that baby. Like I said before, I had 0 doubts about him being an incredible father the moment I saw his reaction. 0 doubts. But here is where Episode 1 gets really emotional, and I have to prepare you guys for this, because it genuinely broke my heart a little watching it in the trailer. It looks like Marley is having second thoughts, and I know. She's the birth mother and this is her baby, and her feelings matter too. I completely understand that. But I also cannot help feeling for Mel in this situation, because this is a woman who has been through so much already. She has wanted a child for years and years, and she finally thought it was happening. She finally let herself believe that she was going to be a mom, and now Marley might be pulling back. Like, how is that fair? How is that even a little bit fair to Mel? What really got me in the trailer was this one moment where you can see Mel's expression shift. It's subtle, but it's there, and if you know Mel the way longtime fans know Mel, you can tell exactly what's going through her mind. She's trying to hold it together. She's trying to be understanding and gracious and not make Marley feel guilty. But underneath all of that, you can see the heartbreak starting to creep in. And honestly, that one moment alone told me everything I needed to know about where Mel's headspace is going to be in Episode 1. She is holding herself together by a thread, and the season hasn't even really begun yet. Now I want to be clear about something, because I've seen some people online defending Marley and saying she has every right to change her mind, and yes, technically that is true. But I think what makes this so painful to watch is the timing of it all. Mel and Jack just got married. They are literally newlyweds. This was supposed to be the happiest time of their lives. And instead of settling into their marriage and enjoying that honeymoon phase, they are immediately dealing with uncertainty about whether or not they are going to have this baby. That is not the start to a marriage that anybody deserves, especially Not these two after everything they went through to get here, and I think the show knows that. I think the show is deliberately putting them through this because the payoff is going to be huge. At least that's what I'm telling myself to feel better about it, and you know what? Let me just say this about Jack for a second because I feel like people don't always give him enough credit. Jack Sheridan has grown so much as a character over the course of this show. In the early seasons, he was dealing with his PTSD and his drinking and all of these walls he had built up around himself. And slowly, episode by episode, season by season, he let those walls down, he let Melon. He became someone who was ready to love and be loved fully. And now he's standing at the edge of fatherhood, genuinely ready for it, genuinely excited about it, and watching that possibly be taken away from him is honestly painful to witness. Because you just want good things for Jack, you want him to finally catch a break. And I really hope the show gives that to him this season. Because he has more than earned it at this point, alright. Let's shift gears a little bit because there is another storyline in episode 1 that I think is going to be really important this season. And honestly, it's one that I'm personally very invested in. So let's talk about Lizzie and Denny. Now if you remember, Lizzie was pregnant at the end of season 6, and from what we can see in the trailer, she is giving birth right at the start of the season. Like we are not waiting around for this one. Episode 1 is going to take us through Lizzie's delivery and into those very first moments of her becoming a mother, and on paper that sounds beautiful, right? A new baby, a loving partner by her side, a whole new chapter beginning for both of them. And in a lot of ways it is beautiful. But there is something else going on underneath all of that, and I think most of you already know what I'm talking about, because here is the thing about Lizzie. She has always been this firecracker of a character. Loud, funny, confident, someone who walks into a room and owns it immediately. She has never been someone who seems unsure of herself or lost or overwhelmed. That's just not who Lizzie is, or at least that's not who she used to be. Because what I'm seeing in the trailer is a very different version of Lizzie. And it honestly caught me off guard at first. She seems distant, she seems disconnected. There are moments where she's looking at her own baby, and instead of that glowing new mother energy you'd expect, there's just this blankness in her eyes. And the people around her are noticing it too. You can see it in the way they're watching her. The way they're checking in on her a little too carefully, like everyone can sense that something is wrong, but nobody quite knows how to bring it up yet. And I think what the show is doing here is telling a really important story about postpartum depression, because that is exactly what this looks like to me. The exhaustion, the disconnection, the feeling of being present physically but completely absent emotionally. It's something that so many women go through after giving birth, and it's not talked about enough. And the fact that Virgin River is choosing to explore this through Lizzie's character is actually really meaningful to me. Because if anyone can make this storyline feel real and raw and honest, it's this show. Virgin River has always been good at taking heavy emotional topics and handling them with the kind of care and sensitivity they deserve. So I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing how they develop this throughout the season. But here is the part that gives me so much comfort when I think about Lizzie's situation. She has Denny, and I cannot stress this enough, guys. Denny is one of the best male characters on this entire show. He is patient and kind and steady in a way that not a lot of people are. He doesn't panic when things get hard. He doesn't pull away when the person he loves is struggling. He just shows up. Every single time, he just shows up. And you can already see that in the trailer. While Lizzie is clearly going through something really difficult, Denny is right there beside her. Not trying to fix her, not making her feel like something is wrong with her, just being present. Just being her person. And honestly, their relationship is one of the strongest on the show right now. And I think this storyline is only going to prove that even more as the season goes on. I have to say though, and I think a lot of you will agree with me on this, watching Lizzie go through something this heavy is going to take some getting used to. Because we're so used to her being the comic relief, the one who lightens the mood, the one who says exactly what everyone else is thinking but nobody has the nerve to say out loud. And now she's in this vulnerable, painful place, and it's a completely different side of her that we haven't really seen before. But I think that's what makes it such good storytelling. Because it reminds us that even the loudest, most confident people in the room can be silently struggling. And sometimes the people who seem the most okay are the ones who need the most support. So I'm rooting for Lizzie so hard this season. I need her to get through this. I need her to come out the other side of this and find her way back to herself. Because Lizzie at full power is one of the best things about this show, and I want her back. Okay, now we are getting to the part of the trailer that I genuinely screamed about. And if you know me at all, you already know exactly what I'm about to talk about. Bree and Brady. Oh my gosh, Bree and Brady. Okay, so let me just take a second because I need to compose myself before I get into this. Because I have been waiting for this moment for so long. And seeing it finally happen in the trailer was just everything to me, like everything. So for those of you who have been following along with my Virgin River content for a while, you know that I have been Team Brady from the very beginning, not Team Mike. Not Team Let's See What Happens, Team Brady, full stop, no questions asked. I have never wavered on this and I never will. Because here is the thing about Brady and Bree that I don't think gets talked about enough. Their connection is not something that can be explained away or replaced or imitated. It is just there, it has always been there. From the very first moment these two were in the same scene together, there was this undeniable pull between them that the show never really let go of even when it was trying to push them in other directions. And Mike, look, Mike is a good guy. I'm not going to sit here and trash Mike as a person. But he was never right for Bree, not really, because you could see it in Bree's eyes every single time Brady walked into the room. That is not how you look at someone when you've fully moved on. That is not how you look at someone when your heart belongs somewhere else. And Bree's heart has always belonged to Brady, whether she was ready to admit it or not. So what we see in the trailer is this moment between them, and I have to describe it to you because it is so good. Brady comes to Bree and he asks her if she needs a friend. And on the surface that sounds like such a simple, innocent thing to say. But the way he says it and the way she looks at him when he says it tells you everything you need to know, because they both know that they cannot be just friends, that ship has sailed. You cannot have the kind of history that these two have and then just decide to be buddies and hang out casually. It doesn't work that way, and I think deep down they both know it. I think Brady knows it when he's asking, and I think Bree knows it when she's listening. And that tension, that unspoken thing between them, is honestly some of the best stuff in the entire trailer, and I am calling it right now. By the end of this season, Bree and Brady are going to be back together. I said what I said, these two are endgame, and I genuinely believe the show has been building back to this moment for a while now. All the detours with Mike, all the almost moments with Brady, all of it has been leading right back here to them, together, where they belong. So if you are also a Bree and Brady fan, please let me know in the comments, because I want to find my people. And I want us to celebrate this together when it finally happens on screen. Now, while we are on the subject of Bree, there is something else in the trailer that caught my attention, and I think it is worth talking about. There is a new face coming to Virgin River this season, and his name is Clay. He is being played by Cody Kersley, and from what we know about his character, he has come to Virgin River looking for his sister. Now, when I first heard this, I immediately started thinking about who his sister could be, and my first instinct honestly was Bree. Like, a mysterious stranger comes to town looking for a missing sister? That has Bree written all over it. But then I looked a little closer at the details, and it actually doesn't add up. Because from what the character description tells us, Clay's sister is younger than him, and when you look at Bree, she just doesn't fit that picture, so I don't think she's the one he's looking for. But what I do think is that Clay's storyline is going to add a really interesting new layer to the season, because a man coming into a small tight-knit community searching for someone he's lost, that opens up so many possible directions for the story to go. Who is his sister? Is she in Virgin River by choice? Does she even want to be found? Those are the kinds of questions that are going to keep us watching week after week. And I have a feeling Clay is going to end up crossing paths with several of our main characters before all is said and done. I just hope for everyone's sake that he stays well away from Bree. I say that with full respect to his character, but also with complete loyalty to Brady, because we did not wait this long for Bree and Brady to finally get their moment just for some new guy to walk in and complicate things. Respectfully, Clay, Virgin River has enough drama already. Alright guys, we have made it to the part that every single one of you has been waiting for, and honestly the part that I have been most excited to talk about this entire video, the release date. Because I know how long this wait has been. I know how many of you have been checking your Netflix app every single week hoping for some kind of news, some kind of announcement, anything that tells you when Virgin River is coming back. And I have been right there with you, refreshing pages, searching for updates, going through every single interview and social media post looking for even the tiniest clue. So believe me when I say that nobody is more relieved than I am to finally be sitting here, telling you that we have an official date. Virgin River Season 7 will premiere on March 12th, 2026 on Netflix, and I just need a moment to let that sink in, because after everything, after all the waiting and the speculation and the wondering, we finally have something concrete to hold on to. March 12th, mark it in your calendars. Set your alarms, tell your friends, tell your family, cancel whatever plans you have that day, because we are going to be busy. We are going to be planted in front of our screens watching every single episode. And I genuinely cannot wait to experience this season alongside all of you. And honestly, from everything we have seen in this trailer, Season 7 looks like it is going to be one of the most emotional and impactful seasons this show has ever done. And that is saying something because this show has put us through it from the very beginning. Think about everything we have already covered in this video alone. Mel and Jack facing the possibility of losing the baby they were counting on to complete their family. Lizzie silently struggling through postpartum depression while trying to hold herself together for everyone around her. Jack dealing with whatever dark thing he walked into at Charmaine's house at the end of season 6. Bree and Brady slowly but surely finding their way back to each other after way too long apart. And a brand new mysterious character arriving in Virgin River with secrets that are going to shake things up in ways we probably can't even fully predict yet. That is a lot of story, that is a whole lot of heart, and all of it is coming on March 12th. But you know what I keep coming back to when I think about this season? I keep coming back to Mel because at the end of the day, this whole show started with Mel Monroe getting on a bus and driving away from a life that had broken her completely. She came to Virgin River with nothing but grief and a need to start over, and slowly, painfully, beautifully, she built something real there. She found community, she found purpose, she found love, she found Jack, and now she is standing at the doorstep of the family she has always wanted, and the show is once again making her fight for it, making her earn it, and as much as that breaks my heart to watch, I also know that when Mel finally gets everything she deserves, and I truly believe she will, it is going to feel like the most earned, most beautiful moment this show has ever given us, because that is what Virgin River does. It breaks you down slowly and then it puts you back together in a way that makes you feel everything all at once. So if you are new here and this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. This is what we do. We talk about the shows we love. We feel all the feelings together and we show up for every single episode, like it personally owes us something. And if you have been here for a while, then you already know what kind of community this is, and I am so grateful for every single one of you. You guys make this worth doing every single time. Now before I go, I need you to do something for me. If you are just as excited about Virgin River Season 7 as I am, hit that like button. Right now, not later, right now. Because it genuinely helps more people find this content, and I want every Virgin River fan out there to know that this community exists and that we are here waiting for March 12th together. And if you are not subscribed yet, then what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single update, breakdown, trailer reaction, or episode review from me. I am going to be covering every single episode of Season 7 and you do not want to miss any of it. And finally, I want to hear from you in the comments. Tell me what you are most excited about going into Season 7. Are you Team Mel and Jack getting their baby? Are you rooting for Bree and Brady to finally get back together? Are you worried about Lizzie? Are you curious about Clay and who his mysterious sister might be? Drop it all in the comments below because I read every single one and I love knowing what you guys are thinking. This is our show, this is our community. And March 12th cannot come fast enough. I will see you in the next one. Here's your opinion section. Okay, so now I want to take a second and just share my honest thoughts about everything we have seen so far because I have a lot of feelings about this trailer. And I feel like you guys deserve to hear exactly where I stand on all of it. No sugarcoating, no trying to be neutral about it. Just me telling you what I actually think. Because that is what we do here. So let me start with the thing that is bothering me the most, and that is the Marley situation. Because I have been going back and forth on this in my head ever since I watched the trailer, and I keep landing in the same place every single time. What Marley is doing to Mel is not okay. And I know that sounds harsh, and I know that some of you might disagree with me on this. And that is completely fine. But hear me out. When you tell a woman who has been through miscarriage, through IVF, through years of hoping and grief,